Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Million Mile Movement. My name is Shari Packard, and I've been a council member since the month of October. But even long before I became a council member, I was an avid member. I never missed a Friday, Fierce Friday, or at least I tried my best not to, because I always thought that the information was so impactful, so important. And it was an aspect of Purium that really pulled at my heart as a mom. Course. I'm a holistic nutrition and health coach for those of you who are not aware, but first and foremost, more than anything else, I am a mom and getting the, it's more about just creating a healthy foundation for my own children, which is at the forefront of everything that I do. But it's also about creating the type of world that I want to see them be a part of, the type of world that cares about the health of humanity, the health of the planet. And it's about empowering each other, and the Million Mile Movement does so much in that regard, just through just creating awareness and sharing information, and just creating that community. Community is so important. I think we highly underestimate the value of community, and the Million Mile Movement is such a beautiful community filled with people, not just moms, right? And that's the other aspect that I love about the Million Mom Movement. And I think that perhaps people don't necessarily know, especially when they just see something about our movement go by, that the mom in movement of Million Mom Movement means the movement of many. And so it's not just for moms, it's for anybody who cares about who cares about future generations, who cares about the health of our planet, who cares about health of people, who wants to be healthier themselves, who wants to further empower their own health. And in that process, whether we recognize it or not, when we're improving our own health, we're also helping to improve other people's health just by example, right? You never know who you're going to be an inspiration to. You never know who's watching you. And so the movement of many is really dear to my heart. And I'm so happy and thankful to be hosting today's call on a subject that I know I hear so much about from clients every single day. Not just clients, friends, family, everyone wants more energy, right? Don't we all want more energy? So before we get started, we are going to first read our pledge because that's how we like to begin our call. So I have to put somebody on the spot. And I'm going to actually ask my friend, Mike, who is going to be sharing an amazing story with us a little bit later on today. Mike, would you be willing to read our pledge today?
Well, if you put me on the spot like that, I suppose I have to say yes, don't I?
I figured I might be able to do it with you. Yeah. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
All right. So, I pledge to defend the health of myself and my family. I pledge to choose organic foods that are minimally processed and free of man-made ingredients. I pledge to read labels and educate myself on all aspects of clean living. I understand that my actions today will positively impact the health and environment of future generations. I am committed to sharing this movement of many. I am the Million Mom Movement.
You're muted, Sherry.
I am muted. Thank you. I was saying thank you, Mike. And if I could just put you on the spot just for like a second longer, when you read a movement like that, what does it mean to you? What does it bring up for you?
Yeah, I mean, gosh, that's a great question. It really taps into a lot of emotion, but as an uncle, and as someone who's really passionate about health and who's had some personal experiences with the challenges of health within my own family and within my own life, it it's empowering, and it's so easy, I think, especially over the past couple of years, it's become so easy to feel isolated, right? And to feel like oh, we're defeated, or there's nothing that people can do, or it's just me.
Mhm.
So a pledge like this, not only does it tap or tie into a lot of passions and emotions that I have, but it's a really uplifting, connected kind of community pledge, right? It To me, that's what it represents. Is it makes us realize how powerful we are when we connect and we spread our arms and we touch fingertips. And a million people is a lot of people, but not with the way that we've structured it in terms of how we're supposed to approach reaching out to people. So that's what it means to me. I don't know if that's the answer you're expecting, but
No, there is no one answer, that's for sure. It's going to be a little bit different for everybody. And that's why we love to ask our community members what it means to them, because it can mean so many different things. And I can resonate with what you said as an uncle, right? Because I'm an aunt as well. I'm a grandmother, and I'm also a mom. And so I understand that, that was my drive, in just wanting to do better, wanting to feel better. First of all, because I came to understand that if I don't fill my cup first, then I'm no good to the people that I care about, right? And we also lead by example. And so I can't expect my children to make healthy choices, or my grandson or my granddaughter on the way, or my nieces and nephews. I can't expect them to make healthy choices if I'm not doing that myself, right? So it always starts with us. It's most important. And just really paving that way for them is so important. I came to Purium. Really, it was a journey that brought me to Purium. And that journey had a lot to do with my son's diagnosis with type 1 diabetes. And that's when I realized that I was missing something. I had been missing a link. There was information that I was never taught, because I could not understand how, even though we were seemingly doing all of the right things, my son could get a diagnosis like this. And then to have, no set answers from medicine, from science, was extremely frustrating, as a mom. And so I went back into research, and that research led me to some of, more so than just, the gut is where digestion happens, more so than just we need a probiotic or a prebiotic in order to maintain our gut health. We first need to address the damage that's been done to our gut. And nowhere had I been taught that. And so this research led me to Purium, and Purium has done so much to help transform, my son's health and all of our health, and subsequently so many other people. So I understand exactly what you're saying in terms of linking arms, right? And Million Mile Movement is absolutely a place where we get to do that. We get to link arms. So we're extremely powerful on our own, but our reach is so much wider when we link arms together. So absolutely. Thank you so much for that. And I also want to mention that I am just one of 4 council members. I am joined by my amazing council members, fellow council members, yes, council members Nayeva, Flory, Tammy, and Allison, who is currently traveling, so she's not on with us, but definitely here in spirit. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to, I believe, Tammy, although I saw a message go by, Tammy. I'm not, are you able to do it in the news? Okay, I think Nayeva, would you be able, perhaps you and I can share the in the news pieces? Do you want to do the first one? I think Tammy's having some technical difficulties.
Let me just pull that up. Give me just a second.
Thank you.
Let me make sure I have the right page up. I think this is it. All right, so struggling with fatigue. There are some natural ways to boost your energy. And so what causes fatigue? There are so many things that could contribute to fatigue and a lack of energy each day. So lack of activity can definitely contribute to this. The more activity you have, the more energy you'll have, right? So exercise can boost your energy levels. So try to move and exercise every single day, even if you're tired, because the act of moving can help you to create more energy. Eating too many refined carbs definitely can relate to this. Carbohydrates are great food source for quick energy. However, consuming processed carbs and refined sugars and flours can result in unstable blood sugar levels, so leaving you tired and hungry. So focus on whole grains as often as you can. I'm curious if you ever experienced this, drop a 1 below. If ever like you eat something that's high carbs and you literally feel lethargic, like you just want to take a nap afterwards, right? That's something that definitely happens to me if I eat something that is high carbs. And so focusing on the whole grains is definitely important. Dehydration can also contribute to this. Dehydration means you need to drink more water. So make sure that you're drinking, enough water every single day. They say at least 8 to 10 glasses of water per day. And this is so important because we have to stay hydrated. Our body is water, right? We need to drink enough water, and if we're dehydrated, then we're not functioning optimally. So drink enough water every day to replenish the water lost through regular body functions. Not drinking enough throughout the day can reduce your energy levels and your ability to focus. So stay hydrated. Poor quality. getting a good night's sleep is important. Your body and mind both need it to reset and recharge. Getting into good sleep routine will help boost your energy levels and improve your overall mood. Not eating enough. So your body requires a certain number of calories to fuel your body and to prevent your metabolism from slowing down. So not consuming enough calories and nutrients throughout the day can result in fatigue. Find out a healthy calorie range for your body and try not to go below it each day. Also, make sure filling these calories with healthy, wholesome, nutrient-dense foods. So not filling, not eating a ton of calories that are dead calories, but really calories that are benefiting your body. So I love that what we have here, with hydration, getting enough superfoods in, having your apothecary for deeper sleep, being able to get those right calories in every day with your green drinks or your various superfoods. These are really things that we have at our fingertips every day here in our community. And then inadequate protein intake as well. Protein helps boost your metabolism and promotes muscle growth. So focus on incorporating high quality proteins into your diet each day and to keep your metabolism up and your energy high. And then stress, excessive stress and chronic stress can lead to fatigue and reduce quality of life. So stress can be physically, mentally, and emotionally draining, and it can have a negative impact on how we feel every day. So try to reduce the stress levels and find healthy ways to manage the response to stress in your life. And then, of course, health conditions. Fatigue can also be a symptom of several diseases and health issues. If your fatigue persists, make a visit to your family doctor to ensure that you're in good health, right? So if you're somebody that are doing all of the above and you still find that you're fatigued, then you might want to just check in or incorporate some of the things that we've mentioned today or that we'll be mentioning today as ways to increase your energy levels. So what are symptoms of fatigue? The symptoms of fatigue can be physical, mental, or emotional, and typically result in exhaustion while trying to carry out daily activities. Here are some common symptoms. So, lack of motivation, drowsiness, difficulty focusing and learning, lack of concentration, not feeling refreshed after sleeping or resting, sore or tired muscles, moodiness and irritability, slowed reaction time, GI issues, and headaches. These are all symptoms of fatigue. So if you or anybody you know are experiencing these, then what we're going to be talking about here today can definitely um, help create more energy naturally, sustainable energy. So natural ways to boost your energy levels. Nutrition is the number one, which we're going to talk more about throughout this presentation, but focus on choosing whole nutrient dense foods that will help you fuel your body. Also focus on getting your 3 meals a day and a good snack or two when you need them, ensuring that you're eating regularly throughout the day and that you're getting enough food calories in while will help keep you energized. So don't skip meals. Avoiding processed food and refined carbohydrates and sugars will also help keep your energy levels up. So a lot of times we might grab, a sugary treat or a coffee thinking that that is going to give us energy, but it's not sustainable energy. It's energy that comes with a crash at the end and doesn't leave us feeling optimal at the end of the day. So here are some foods that can help boost your energy. Nuts are a great source of protein and natural energy. So almonds, cashews are great, pistachios, pecans, walnuts, all of the different nuts that are out there are packed with protein, fiber, healthy fats, and nutrients that will give you a punch of energy. 1/4 of a cup of or a small handful would be a good afternoon snack. So this is a healthy snack option that's high protein, helps increase energy levels. Natural nut butters are good to include in your diet as well. Try 1 tablespoon with an apple or banana or on a plain rice cake. That would be great to just help have a really quick snack that can help boost your energy levels. You can also stir into oats or include it in a smoothie. There's so many ways that you can include nuts and nut butters into your daily life. Seeds are another high protein, high nutrient dense food. So including seeds into your diet can make chia seed pudding. Flax seeds are great. I love using flax seeds. They're very versatile. I actually blend them up and make like a flax seed tortilla. So you can actually blend flax seeds just on their own and make a tortilla or cracker in the pan, or you can mix them with other things. So you can mix flax seeds with lentils or quinoa or other things and make a batter and make that into a type of tortilla that you can wrap any kind of food in, right? So there's lots of ways that you can also use seeds or nuts in your diet or in your other meals that you're having. So pumpkin seeds are also a really great source of so many nutrients, and they're packed full of fiber, essential fats, nutrients, and can boost your energy. Try including these into your day. Add chia or flax to your morning smoothie or sprinkle it, on your food. Try a chia pudding, mix pumpkin seeds into your salad. I like to make a seed cheese with pumpkin seeds and a little garlic and some herbs, some salt and pepper, and you can spread it on anything. And it's really good. It's delicious. It's versatile, and you can keep it in the fridge for a few days. And I actually prefer my seed cheese after it starts to ferment a little bit. So just a side note with pumpkin seeds, it's a really great way to get pumpkin seeds into your diet, and it's really delicious. So let's see. Some of the other options are fatty fish, a good source of omega-3, as well as B vitamins, which are so important in the body. So think like wild salmon, things like that, that are really, high fat, really good oils in there. All the omegas are in there, super healthy and good for energy, boosting your energy levels. Leafy greens can also be really great. Leafy green vegetables are high in protein, so think like broccoli, bok choy, spinach, kale. They're all loaded with vitamins and minerals, including B vitamins, as well as antioxidants that will boost your energy and improve your health. And then whole grains. Instead of eating, things that might not be, that are broken down already and harder for your body to actually get the nutrients out of, whole grains still have the nutrients intact. So think brown rice, quinoa, oats, spelt, whole wheat. These are all really good. And of course, we always recommend organic. And a side tip, it's good to soak your rice or your quinoa before cooking it. I like to soak it for at least half an hour to an hour and then rinse it, because there are some things on there that you don't necessarily want to be consuming. And so soaking it first and rinsing it can really be good. And then fruit is loaded with fiber and vitamins and minerals and can help increase energy levels and promote good health. If you think about it, fruit has a natural sugar in it. And sometimes people think like, oh, I don't want to eat a lot of sugar. Well, fruit has the type of sugar that our body can actually assimilate. And fruit turns right into amino acids into our body when we're digesting it. So this is literally feeding our cells. And when we feed our cells, we have more energy. So avocados, blackberries, bananas, dried figs, dried prunes, pears, raspberries, the whole list of fruits is included, but they're just naming a few here. All fruit is great. Try incorporating 1 to 2 servings per day. And then lean protein. So if you're somebody that eats meat, then there's lots of different proteins that you can try. Of course, like I mentioned above, all of the leafy greens also are high in protein. And then we have beans and legumes, chickpeas, lentils, black beans. All of these can be added to salad bowls or making like a vegan healthy burger. You can make hummus out of them. There's so many different ways that you can use beans. Again, beans, soak them before you cook them. It really helps to reduce some of the gas that comes out of them when you cook them. So always soak your beans. And then sweet potatoes, of course, again, that natural sweetness can really help increase your energy levels. So good for you. And it's like a sweet treat. Dark chocolate, include a square or two of dark chocolate can really help. It's like, especially the dark chocolate that doesn't have sugar and milk added to it, it can really have a lot of health properties because it has so many good things in cacao itself. So also having chocolate with some nuts, like a little trail mix, can really be an easy go-to if you're somebody that's super busy and you often feel like you need a snack. Just make yourself a little trail mix with some nuts and maybe some high quality dark chocolate if you want that in it, and have that as your go-to handful of snack so you can improve your energy levels throughout the day. And then there's supplements. There are a number of different vitamins and supplements that can help boost your energy levels. A lot of these come naturally in our superfood blends. So vitamin B12 plays a huge role in energy production in the body. It can help um, it can be found naturally in some of the animal proteins, including meat, fish, and dairy. taking a supplement would be great for you. Spirulina has really great vitamin B12. There's so many different, and spirulina is in a lot of our green blends. So, you can get these vitamins from different various superfoods that we offer as well. Iron is necessary for transport of oxygen in the body's tissues. So if you're low in iron, extreme fatigue can result. Also, if you didn't know, parasites eat your iron. So if you're somebody that's often iron deficient, then you may want to do a parasite cleanse so that way the parasites aren't eating the iron out of your body and you're actually getting enough iron every day. Again, dark leafy greens have a ton of iron. So by incorporating the dark leafy greens that we mentioned before, you're getting a ton of iron from that. And of course, a lot of our green drinks are high in iron. So that can really help boost your iron levels as well. And then ashwagandha and rhodiola rosacea, these are both adaptogens, botanical supplements, which can help protect the body against the effects of mental and physical stress. And of course, we have both of these in some of our blends. I know the ashwagandha is in our new mushroom blends. And I believe the rhodiola is in maybe like the Renew or the Regen. It's in some of our products. I have to look it up, but I know that we have it in some of our blends. CoQ10. This is a powerful antioxidant found in every cell of our body, and it really helps with the energy production. So our body produces CoQ10, and we can also get it from our diet through certain meats, fish, peanuts. As we age, the ability to produce CoQ10 is decreased. So supplementing may be beneficial later in life. These are things that are naturally, that can be naturally produced within our superfood nutrients that happens naturally in our body as well. And then magnesium and melatonin may help with good sleep. We know where to get that, right? We have our apothecary that really helps increase melatonin, and then our ionic elements, which is a really, really great blend. That's why we often recommend putting the ionic elements into the apothecary so that you're getting the magnesium and the melatonin benefits in your body so you can get that deep restful sleep and reduce inflammation as well. So this is really essential for good health and increasing energy levels, because we all know that a good night's sleep will leave us waking up and feeling so much better in the morning. So there are some combination supplements that you can buy that are formulated specifically for energy, sleep, and stress. And we will go more into those in just a minute. But the main things for lifestyle is make sure that you get enough sleep every night. Focus on getting a good sleep routine. Get to bed at the same time each night. Avoid screen time before bed. We've talked about this before, but we can't say it enough. Keep your stress levels down and find healthy ways to manage them. Stress can make you feel tired and completely drained. So physical, emotional, and mental stress can all take a toll on you on a daily basis. So stay active. Regular exercise can boost your energy levels and improve your overall health. Don't overpack your day. Find time to relax every day. Get out into nature. Stay hydrated. Keep focused on getting lots of water every day. Avoid, toxic behaviors, once in a while, if you enjoy having a drink or going out with friends, of course, do what you got to do, but try not to make it a daily habit, because that can really decrease your energy levels and increase all the other symptoms of having low energy. And then yoga and mindfulness practices can help reduce stress, improve sleep, and promote relaxation. So if you need to adopt a yoga practice, that can be really helpful in increasing your energy levels and reducing stress in all the other areas as well. Be social, get out and spend time with friends and family. This will boost your mood and enhance your overall well-being. Of course, we all love to be around each other. That's why we're all here today. So thanks for joining us. And then making a healthy lifestyle change can help improve your overall health and leave you feeling more energized and focused each day. So make your health a priority, fuel your body with the foods it needs each day, and be sure to treat your body with love and kindness. And of course, reach out to whoever invited you here today if you're a guest, and they can help you get more information about everything that we're going to be sharing here today. So, Sherry, did you want me to share my screen for the next one, or do you have it up on your end?
I believe I have it up on my end, but thank you very much for reading the first one. I'll go ahead and pull the second article. Sorry, all right, so this is here. Sorry, guys, just bear with me for a second. Okay. Okay, so this second article touches more on why plants are so important in terms of finding sustainable energy. And so they talk about see here how it really is the most optimal fuel. So hardworking muscles run primarily on glycogen, a form of carbohydrates stored in our liver and muscle. Carbohydrates, which come almost exclusively from plants, also provide our brain with its primary and preferred fuel, glucose, which helps us stay sharp and focused during intense training sessions and competitions. So performance-based diets built around meat and other animal products often provide dietary fat at the expense of carbohydrates. So unlike carbohydrates, fat doesn't produce energy fast enough to meet the demands of intense exercise. So diets that sacrifice carbohydrates typically impair high intensity performance. Low carbohydrate diets, including the ketogenic diet, have been shown to cause so much fatigue that they even affect our motivation to begin a training session, let alone to finish one. So that protein can also be used as a fuel source. We know this, but it's highly inefficient, wasting 20 to 30% of each calories as heat. All told, carbohydrates are the ideal source of energy for optimized performance, whether it's doing squats, playing football, or running a marathon, or I would argue even just getting through your day-to-day errands, which for some of us, I'm sure you can relate, can feel like you're running a marathon. So increased blood flow. Efficient blood flow is another cornerstone for optimized performance, also for optimized energy. Since blood is how oxygen and vital nutrients reach the cells in our muscles, brain, and the rest of our body, while also helping to eliminate waste. So if we scroll down here, so this is important. I thought this was very important to mention. So adding insult to injury, animal-based meals can cripple our arteries, preventing them from fully opening to allow for increased blood flow. So research has shown that just 2 hours after eating a heavy animal-based meal, arteries can constrict by 40%, essentially causing a traffic jam. The calorie-matched plant-based meal allowed them to open freely for quick, easy transit. So this does not mean that, if you're a meat eater, do you have to stop eating meat altogether? I get asked this question a lot as well. So we're not saying stop altogether. Okay, maybe that would be right for you, maybe it wouldn't. That's an individual decision. But what is important to mention and to know that when we want to obtain sustainable energy, we've got to look at adding in that most optimal fuel for that, and that is plants. That is carbohydrates. Now, of course, when we're talking about carbohydrates, there's two different types. There's refined and there's complex. Refined carbohydrates are the ones that are going to essentially break down to sugar, right? So that's not what we want. That's not going to give us any type of sustainable energy. When we're looking for sustainable, we want it to last long term. We want it to last throughout our day. Complex carbs are the ones that are going to help us do that. And also, so it talks here again about improved muscle efficiency, which I'm going to skip because we kind of touched on that last week when we were talking about our super aminos. But again, we'll share these links so you can go into more detail and read them from beginning to end on your own. But I wanted to skip down to reduce inflammation because inflammation is maybe one of those less known causes of fatigue. So if you're experiencing chronic fatigue, or even, maybe it's not chronic, but it rears its ugly head on a pretty consistent basis. You might have moments of energy, but then it drops or it diminishes quick, you lose it, you have trouble gaining it back, you have trouble finishing your day. It could be because you have inflammation. So inflammation in our bodies, inflammation is our body's natural immune response to injury, foreign invaders, or even exercise. In its acute form, like after spraining an ankle, coming down with a bacteria infection, or recovering from a workout, inflammation is an immediate and necessary part of the healing process. Left unchecked or further intensified, inflammation can prolong healing time from injuries or sickness, and also increase soreness and swelling, slowing recovery between workouts and competition. So chronic inflammation often begins with the same cellular response, but shifts in nature when the immune system fails to heal the injury effectively, eliminating the foreign invaders, or continues to respond to a threat that no longer exists. So we know that there are many ways that inflammation builds up in our bodies. I can actually stop this sharing now. So we know that there are many ways that inflammation build up in our body. So yes, if we get an injury and it's not, and it's left too long and we're not addressing it, that could do it. But we also know that our lifestyles have a lot to do with the amount of inflammation in our bodies. We know that our diets are the primary cause of so much inflammation. And when our body is dealing with inflammation, our bodies cannot give us that energy that we crave and that we need for our day. So checking on, inflammation, taking a look at your lifestyle and seeing what is it in my lifestyle that could be causing inflammation. So as I brought up that eating meat does create inflammation in the body. So again, does that mean you stop eating it? I'll let you decide that for yourself. But at the very least, we want to ensure that perhaps we're limiting the amount of meat that we are eating and we're adding in a whole lot more plants, because the plants is not only going to help us obtain that energy, but it's also going to help reduce the inflammation. So it's doing two very important jobs for us all at the same time. And the other thing I wanted to talk about when we're speaking of energy is the fact that we live in a fast-paced world. Okay, so it's constantly demanding so much from us, and we always want to keep up. And the more we want to keep up, the more we add to our day, the more we try to accomplish, the more tired we get, right? And so we wind up in this very vicious circle because we're constantly reaching for something that's going to give us a little energy boost. Now, the most effective way to come at this issue is to look at what's causing the fatigue in the first place. Why is your body not able to meet your demand, right? Your demand for action, your body should be able to meet you with the demand for energy, a nice constant flow of energy. If your body is not doing that, there's a reason. There's something going on behind the scenes. So that's the most effective way to come at this issue, is to start saying, what is my body lacking? How can I support my body in ensuring that it's going to provide me with the energy I'm needing for my day? And unfortunately, we don't tend to do it like that because we're so busy. We're looking for quick fixes. And so we reach for what in a moment when we're tired, we're tired and we need energy boost. We're reaching for caffeine, we're reaching for sugar, we're reaching for refined carbohydrates, right? And when we do this, yes, we'll get a slight energy boost, but it's followed by what? It's usually followed by a crash, right? And not to mention that we're actually just kind of adding on to the inflammation in our body and creating more of a problem. So how do we start flipping the switch? Well, again, we have to look at the root cause. So before we can add anything into our bodies that are going to provide us with any type of sustainable energy, we've got to look at our gut, because our gut is where it's all going to be absorbed. Our gut is where assimilation of nutrients happens. So first, we have to get our gut in check before we can do anything else to help our energy levels. Once we do that, then we can reach for those healthier options. We can reach for plants. We can reach for herbs. We can reach for things that we know are going to provide the body with what it needs to create that sustainable energy. And what we're doing in that case is we're no longer being reactive, because going for that coffee or going for that sugary snack, that's reactive in the moment. We need something right now. And so we're just going to grab anything, and no matter the consequence, I don't care about how I'm going to feel later. I need the energy right now. But obviously that's not working for us, because then we wouldn't have so many people always complaining about not having enough energy, always being tired, right? You ask people, how are you? Oh, okay, I'm a little tired. I'm tired, right? We hear this all the time. And so clearly it's not fixing the issue. It's not getting to the root cause. So we need to start doing that. Two other main reasons for fatigue that weren't mentioned in the two articles. One of them being stress, although I think that was lightly mentioned. So stress is a big cause of fatigue. And one of the best things that we can do to help combat stress is take certain herbs that will help us with that, like ashwagandha, adaptogen herbs, right? That really come in and help the body deal with all of that stress. And so our mushroom blends, Purium's mushroom blends, are amazing for this because they're packed with adaptogens. Another core root cause of fatigue is adrenal stress, adrenal fatigue. When it gets to the point where you have been under a certain amount of stress for quite a long time, it can start to affect your adrenals. And when your adrenals are affected, that's when that extreme chronic fatigue can creep in out, seemingly out of nowhere, and it's there and it does not go no matter what you do. And that's usually a really good sign that you should address your adrenals, give them a little love, give them a little support. And the best way to do that is by giving them certain herbs that will help. And our Be Energetic, Purium's Be Energetic is perfect for this. In fact, I like to do this once a season. So 4 times a year, I take a Be Energetic, and I find that it really just helps to create that support for my adrenals, because I don't want to wait until my adrenals are shot to start helping them out. I'd rather be preventative and proactive about it and give my adrenals that love, because we're all under stress, right? Stress is unavoidable to a large extent. I mean, we can, help with certain, we can use tools to help combat it, but it's there. And so we want to be preventative. We want to be proactive as much as possible. And so now we have 2 amazing guests here today who have stories about energy, their energy levels, and how they were able to increase them natural way, and of course with Purium. And so I'm going to ask Kiev, she can unmute.
Hi.
Hi, Kiev.
It's so nice to see you, Sherry and Naiva and everybody. Hi, Kim. Hi, Dan. Oh, it's so nice. Thank you so much for having me and for inviting me to come speak about this, because this is my story. Like, this is so, we hear so many stories with Purium of how Purium changed their lives or helped them in one way or another, and this one's my story. So I'm so happy that you guys invited me to come share this. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Kiev. Where to start? Okay, so I'm a mom of 2. I have multiple businesses. I'm very busy. I'm always on the go. Hence the context that that I'm coming to you from. I just parked my car. I'm going skiing with my son, actually, and this Purium came into my life at a moment where I was exhausted, which is something that I've never experienced. It wasn't. It wasn't. It's not part of me. Being tired has never been a thing for me, right? And so when I had my firstborn, I was 26 years old. And when I was pregnant, it was my first pregnancy at 26, like, any one of you have been pregnant, you've experienced the whole, like, I can't sleep, I'm uncomfortable, I've got my legs up in the air, like you don't know where to go. And I started getting like restless leg syndrome. And then the baby came, and then I started nursing, and I was self-employed, right? So I didn't get this beautiful mat leave that a lot of people get here in Canada. I was still working, right? And nursing at the same time. And I would wake up every single night at 3 a.m. and I wouldn't fall back asleep. And so I was exhausted running these businesses, having a young child. And 2.5 years in, I had already stopped breastfeeding, and I thought that my biological clock had never gone back to normal. I was still waking up in the middle of the night. I was still not sleeping. I was exhausted, and I never thought that it could be the food that I was consuming, because I've been eating well for so long. I've been plant-based for over 15 years. I've paid attention to the food that I was consuming, because I went plant-based, because when you stop eating meat and start eating plants, you're like, oh my god, where do I get all my nutrients? So I had always paid attention to that. And one day my friend presented the ULT to me, and I wanted nothing to do with it. Truthfully, I was like, these are powders. I don't want anything to do with it. Like, unless it's cinnamon, that's been ground, like, I want nothing to do with it. But I wanted to encourage her. I wanted to support her business. It was all about, like, oh, you're on this journey, sure, I'll help you, and here's my credit card. And those products sat in a box for a couple weeks. And eventually I was like, well, the products are there, I might as well give them a try. And so I did. And I liked them, like, I liked them. I liked the taste of them, and I liked the ingredients of them. Specifically, it was that I could read the ingredients that was on there, and I was like, oh my goodness, like, these are amazing. These are real plants. This is like a real, like, this isn't just powder, these are real plants and nutrient dense whole foods, right? So, sorry, my son just came out with his skis. He's really ready to go. And so I started consuming these products. And it was about 2 months in that, and I didn't remember this, it's by going back into my journal and reading it. So anyone who's starting this journey, write a journal from day one, because it was only by looking back at my journal, what I wrote, that I understood the magic of this was that within 2 months, I had written, I have so much more energy now. I don't know if it's these products, but maybe it is. And so I kept going. And then one day I ran out of products. And you know what I did? I didn't reorder. And about 3 weeks in, I started complaining. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. And it was my partner who asked me, are you still taking that Purium stuff? And I was like, no, I ran out, didn't think more of it. And he was like, well, maybe you should give it a try. And ever since, I never stopped. And you know what it is? What happened is that in that time, in those few months that happened, I used to be that person. It's so funny because Naeva and Sherry, you guys both mentioned it. And like, this was me. This was right on. It was that anytime I was tired, I would drink a coffee. And then you know what? I would crash. I wasn't even the coffee drinker that put sugar or milk in my coffee. I was like dark coffee, black coffee, whoever's putting milk and sugar in their coffee, you should stop, that was me. And I would have, no joke, between 5 to 10 coffees a day. Like I would drink a coffee and then I would crash. And then what do you do when you crash and you're tired again? Well, you make yourself another cup of coffee, right? And so that's what I was doing. It came to the point where on the days that I wouldn't drink coffee, I would get a migraine because my body was so addicted to it that my body was having these reactions to not being fed the coffee. And I didn't try to stop drinking coffee. It just happened naturally where one day I was like, oh, I haven't drank coffee in 5 days. And I was like, that's so weird because usually if I don't drink coffee, I get a migraine. What is this? And I realized that it's because I replaced the habit of drinking a coffee with a green juice. And the green juice is so nutrient dense and it's really fueling your body with exactly what your body needs. And when your body is thriving on exactly what it needs, it's completely energized, right? Because it has exactly what it needs. So I stopped drinking coffee without trying, which was great because I don't want to go to any detox symptoms of stopping to drink coffee, and my body had exactly what it needed. And to give you the comparison, I have my second child now. He is 2 years old, so he's the same age my firstborn was when I was so tired and I couldn't function. And today, and I'm older, I'm 34 now, and I have my firstborn, I have the 2-year-old, I have more businesses going on, and I am not tired, right? I'm not exhausted. It's not like the first time around. And this to me is just proof of what these, so young, thank you. It's just proof to me of the quality of this kind of nutrition. And it's not, at first it really, I thanked it all to the green juice, but today, and having done more research and understanding all of it, I understand that it had to do with the apothecary that regulates your circadian rhythm. It has to do with the aminos. It has to do with the power shake. It has to do with gut health. It's everything put together that these products work in synchronicity, right? And I mean, for anyone who's tired, any tired mom out there, even if you're not a mom, like to me, it's been my mission to share my story with people because I think to be good parents, we can't be tired. We require a lot of patience, a lot of dedication, a lot of compassion, and when it's hard to do when you're tired. And so I hope that my story resonates with somebody and that if you're tired, try this.
Thank you. I love your story,
Thank
Kiv. I've
you.
heard bits and pieces of it, and to hear it like from start to finish here when it has to do with your energy. I mean, I don't know who wouldn't be able to relate on either, a entrepreneurial level or a mom level, just a human being, just, trying to get things done and and be tired. And when you said 5 to 10 cups of coffee, so many people where that's the case. It's just coffee after coffee after coffee. And so we're trying to fuel our bodies on coffee, and it's just not the way it's going to happen. And yes, absolutely, because you had the green juice, you didn't feel the side effects of not having your caffeine anymore because now your body wasn't lacking anything. So it didn't need it. And so it wasn't going to withdraw from it. So that was really is really impactful and important to mention. And I don't want to keep you any longer. Go enjoy skiing with your son. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on. And now my second guest is Mike Parsons. He's a good friend and colleague of mine. And Mike and I have bonded in terms of sports. So my sons are hockey players and Mike plays hockey. And so we go live often. We talk about, what it is to be an athlete on the proper types of fuel. And so I know that he can share quite a bit here about his own story. Specifically, I know that he loves Can't Beat This, which is another amazing Purium superfood that we didn't touch on yet, but that is so important for energy. I know my boys put it in their water bottles every single day for their hockey. And now I'm going to pass it over to Mike because I know that he will share his as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much for having me. It's very humbling to be a part of this community. And just to talk or to build on what Kiev was saying, as an uncle, as I mentioned earlier, in terms of sustained energy, and I believe so deeply, or I align so deeply with what she said about, the parenting role and energy levels, and how critical it is to give the right experience to our children, right? And I think a really negative side of the society that we've kind of constructed over the past few generations is that our elders are tired, they're drained, they're malnourished. And so children don't get the same level typically of engagement from their elders that we would have historically. And so, it's exciting to know that we're bringing a turning point into our culture through infusing our people with nutrition, right? And so with something like Can't Beat This and with hockey, I'll try and keep this brief because I know we're sort of towards the end of the call, and I love to geek out about the nutrition behind our food. So turning to coffee, having been an avid coffee drinker myself as well, much like what Kiev described, it's actually an adenosine blocker. So it actually blocks or it fills in a neurotransmitter's location that blocks our energy production. So coffee actually and caffeine makes you feel not tired. It does not increase your energy. It does not do anything physiologically to increase your energy. And it's a diuretic, so it's reducing your water content. So we get this severe crash, right? Especially with sports. And one thing I've noticed with high tempo sports like hockey, when you drink coffee, is your dehydration levels are so different. Muscle cramping is so much more prominent, right? And so a big part of that is the adenosine blocking and the diuretic. So when we look at something like Can't Beat This, which I love to take before hockey, as Sherry said, it totally changes the playing field with how our body's interacting with the sport, right? And so first of all, you have really high nitrate content in the beets, right? So that's going to convert to nitric oxide in the blood. So you have vasodilation, which means your vessels, all your blood vessels and arteries and everything, they open up, which means you now have an increased blood flow. So now you're getting more delivery to your muscles. But then you're also getting from the nitric oxide content, you're actually getting a boost in efficiency of producing ATP, which is the chemical that with the adenosine in it that our body uses to create energy in the mitochondria, our little powerhouses in the cells. But then we also have cordyceps mushrooms in there, which are an adaptogenic. There's some not a ton of clinical research on this, but there's quite a heavy indication that cordyceps mushrooms also increase our ATP function. And so when you start to look at, this is what I love about Purium, when you start to look at what's in Can't Beat This, for example, many of our products, there's this synergistic blend with how they've been thoughtfully put together and how they interact with each other in the body. So we also have maca root in the Can't Beat This. So you're delivering this really high quality blood throughout your body. You're producing not just really high quality ATP or energy, but you're increasing more of it. But then the maca root is actually going to increase your ability to adapt to stress, which the cordyceps do as well. So it's going to aid in your recovery, which means that crash afterwards we're talking about is no longer this steep, heavy crash because your body's being fed all of these things to help balance it. And so cordyceps mushrooms and maca root and beet nitrates also all play a part in, and this ties into the be energetic and what Sherry's talking about, our adrenals, right, and our endocrinatic function. So there's something in the body called the HPA, and it's the hypothalamus, the pituitary gland, and the adrenal glands all interacting on this axis, and they play off each other in a balance. Okay, and so when we take something like Can't Beat This before a sport, we're actually increasing the functionality of that axis. And then the maca root and the cordyceps are actually regulatory agents in balancing our endocrine. So what you're doing is you're taking the adrenal glands, you're regulating those. You're taking the pituitary gland, you're regulating that. Basically, every system or major hub of decision making throughout the body involved in all the various organs that deal with stress, that deal with energy production, that deal with circadian rhythm, right, and sleep. All of these things are being balanced by more than one thing in the Can't Beat This. And then, of course, we have coconut water and we have all these other wonderful, wonderful things in it. There's too much to talk about in it, in just a quick talk. But for me, I noticed such a stark difference in my sustained boost of stamina and energy to a point where it elicits multiple conversations in the change room on a regular basis. I skate with the same group of people. I've been skating with the same group of people for close to 20 years now. And I still get asked every week about Can't Beat This, what's going on, how I'm doing it, why are you doing this? The older you get, your energy level is getting better. How is this working? So the proof is in the performance. I don't know if there's anything else you want me to say about it. I don't want to ramble on too long because I know we're getting to the top of the hour here, but and I can shoot out a lot of stuff. I hopefully didn't go too fast and that makes sense to everybody in terms of what some of the different values are in there, but you tell me.
No, that was fantastic. I mean, that was great. I love that people keep noticing how much energy you have and that you seem to have more energy as you're getting older because we know that especially in a sport like hockey, it's not a sport that you can play. I mean, at least not on a more intense level, right? Anything more than perhaps just a couple of friends on the rink. For what? I mean, by your 40s, it starts to slow down. I mean, it's pretty early retirement, right? In terms of how long you can play in intensive hockey. And so the fact that you're just, increasing your energy as you're going along, I mean, makes me wonder, what if all of our athletes, what if all professional athletes, we're using our system, we're using our superfoods, would it change retirement age? I don't know. That's just what I was thinking. Because I know you love to geek out on it, and that's why I was so excited to have you here and do a little bit of that. And I think it was a perfect way to end our presentation today. So thank you very much for that. And I'm just going to quickly pass over to my council members. If either one of you, Tammy or Neva, if you have anything you wanted to add before we close out.
I'll share a little bit. So I love what you shared, Mike, and I love that we have so many different tools that give us energy. I know that I could totally relate to Kiev's story as being a super busy mom when I first started these superfoods and how it absolutely helped me to, quit the coffee easily, increase my superfoods, increase my energy levels. I mean, that is a huge part of my story. Many of you have heard it before. And we have so many different things to help us besides, starting with the ultimate lifestyle transformation, getting those green foods in daily. Right now, my favorite daily go-to is the kamut blend. I'm really enjoying that one. It really just gives me a ton of energy first thing in the morning, and it's better than matcha. You guys, I drink it instead of my matcha, which matcha is good, but it does have a little bit of, caffeine enhancing in your body. And so I'm trying to release my need for caffeine of any sort and just lean on the greens. So we have so many options. The Can't Beat This, of course, is so great for you because it helps increase your energy levels. It has the beets in it, which helps your cardiovascular, which is incredible. And then the Be Energetic, which is great as well, because that actually targets your adrenal function. And your adrenals are so important in helping to regulate your energy levels. And so we have so much we can share here. But yeah, just loving this topic, loving all the tools that we have at our fingertips to help us stay energized, and all the tips that were earlier in the news and throughout the stories, what we shared. And so, so much value here. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, Sherry, for leading us today. And Tammy, if you have anything to share, I'll pass it over to you.
This call was so good. I'm over here just like, yes, 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 more energy, more energy. We love the energy. You know, I hear people say all the time, they see little kids running around. If I could just bottle that energy and sell it, I'd be a millionaire. Well, you guys, hello. I mean, if you want the energy of a little kid, that's Purium. That's what it is. I mean, I'm 42. My youngest is 7. My oldest is 18. I've got 9 nieces and nephews. I'm running around like the Energizer bunny, go, go, go all the time. I'm like, and you know, energy, once you're in motion, a body in motion stays in motion. It's like, I don't want to stop. I missed out on so much of my life before because I was sick and tired and in the hospital all the time. I was anemic, I was depressed, I had insomnia, all these things. I missed out on so much life. And now I'm just like, I want to do it all. I don't want to miss out on anything. And I'm bouncing at Sky Zone and I'm going swimming and I'm the funny aunt. They're like, you know, the kids like are attracted to me, to my energy. They're like, oh, let's go play with Aunt Tammy. Oh, Aunt Tammy will play with us. All the other adults are over there sitting, just, you know, not doing anything. I'm the one in the ball pit, on the trampoline, running around with all this energy. And it's like, people look at me wherever I go. They're just like, wow, there's no way you're 42. Are you really 42? I'm like, yeah, I am. And at one point I was 240 pounds and I was on 20 different medications. And, you know, when you learn about what our food is doing to us and how it's zapping our energy and how, you know, the angstroms in food and different food can make you tired and how food affects your body. And when you really put this into your body, and you feel the difference, it's so easy to share it with everyone. Everyone's going to see you lighting up when you really do it. When you do the 90-day subscription and you stick to it and you stay consistent and you make healthy changes along the way, it's a process. You know, giving up the things like meat was really hard for me to give up. I grew up on meat. I ate all the fast food. I did all the things. I was addicted to all that stuff out there. And the more, you know, it's subtraction by addition. You know, the more you start adding this in, you don't even think about. One day you're just like, oh, I don't even want that thing that I thought I wanted before. You know, you just notice your habits and your cravings start to change. I was addicted to coffee as well. I was a hairdresser. I lived on coffee. It was coffee all day long. So for me to not even crave coffee or anything anymore, and I don't need naps, I'm just go, go, go. My sleep is incredible. Everything just life gets so easy. It's so beautiful. So yeah, I think that's all I have to share. But if you guys want to, our call to action, you know, if you're not on the 90-day subscription yet, sign up for that. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. Share it with 10 people, your neighbor, your mom, your brothers, your sisters, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, anybody that you love. You know, it's all about thriving in this life. You know, if everybody was on Purium, this world would just be so much more beautiful. Everybody would just, you know, your food affects your mood. If you know somebody that's like a patty poopy pants, they need Purium, right? I mean, we all need Purium. No more patty poopy pants is allowed. I did my mom was kind of going through a thing, and I did a fruit feast with her, and my daughter was just like, wow, she's like a different person a week later. Like her mood was better, everything was better. So, you know, you just really start flooding your body with this and you watch the magic happen around you. And then if you're not on following us on YouTube yet, like, subscribe, share. Sharing is caring. Give us some love on there. You know, they say that if you eat at a bad restaurant, you will go and tell like 20 people, but if you have a good experience, you're more likely to keep that a secret. I don't know what that is. It's like you find something good, you just want to keep it to yourself. You don't want anyone else to know about it, but we want everyone to know about this. So share, give us some love on there, like, follow, share, subscribe. We're on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and get more people on this path with us so that we can all enjoy life a little bit more.
Thank you for the call to action, Tammy, and thank you everyone for being here today. That wraps up our call today on sustainable energy. I hope you all leave this call feeling energized and that you run out and share what you heard here today. Share superfoods, share how you're feeling, share your stories. And as soon as we have the replay, share the replay, because that's from personal experience, that is so impactful to sit and really watch and listen and hear these testimonials and to get the information. So